Oh, hey everybody, it's just Paul. Normally we do like perfume reviews and we kick around stuff, but today is going to be like self-therapy day for me, or at least this video. So I kind of apologize in advance. That's part of the reason I do it. Even if I didn't have subscribers, I would still get up here and like start talking about stuff just because I think it's the thing to do, just to like self-help myself. Yesterday, for 3 days, it's been really stressful because I've had to look after my landlady. And when I say look after, I mean I'm hand and foot, just hand and foot. So aside from basic humanitarianism, I don't want her to suffer, and I don't want her to get into problems or anything, for both of our sakes. So the video today is just basically going to be about all the problems we have with this healthcare system here, and the healthcare system here in Hollywood is completely dominated by one facility, and I'm going to tell you what the difference is. Okay, the difference is they're the highest of the high here. Okay, and when you walk into their place, the floors are shined, they're glowing, they've got an aquarium that's built into the wall, they have this, they have that. You know what I'm talking about. You will never see anything out of place of anything. So that's where Charlotte went before, and they hate her there because Charlotte's not neat. She's not. It's just who she is. I mean, I know she was very good at English, and she was like a scholar with that, and she did very well at her job, and she was younger before she retired, but cleanliness is not her strong point, needless to say. So the problem is, if any of you are over 50 years old, you'll understand when I tell you about the song Hellhole. Sometimes it's better in a hellhole. And I know it sounds like a joke, but there's a song by Spinal Tap called Hellhole, and it makes a lot of sense. And after yesterday, I began to realize this, So I'll tell you the whole story. Charlotte was in extraordinary pain for the last more than 2 days. So it got to the point where I didn't know if she would die. I literally got to that point. Now, she went to the healthcare provider here, which shall remain nameless, that, they would fine you $50 if you flatulated, in that place while walking, It's like, that's how bad that place is, okay? These are all squeaky clean places. This is squeaky clean. So Charlotte will not fit in there, and all they do is look at her like an animal. They look at me like an animal too. So, but really for her, they really look at her, and they were laughing at her. I could see how they were talking about her. I say, oh, we've heard about you, and all that, but I understand Charlotte. Charlotte could outdo them 7 ways to Texas. She could. She can tell you what a pregnant participle, or whatever it is. Nobody could touch her in English. She knows when to say whatever and whatever. She's real good. The problem is, she's suffering now. She's 90 years old. She ain't, the old gray mare ain't what she used to be. So the point of this whole thing is, when she went to that healthcare center over there, like a week, like 10 days ago or so, whatever it was, 10, 11 days ago, they basically took her in and didn't feed her or give her water for at least 3 days, And then on the 4th day, they gave her some soup. And then the next day, before 24 hours even occurred, they were asking me to pick her up, okay? Now, this was a 90-year-old woman. We're not talking about a 26-year-old, hound dog here. You know what I mean? This is an old woman. She's frail. And here they were. They gave her her first meal, and they said that she had a BM, and you know what that means, the old excretionary process. And they said she could go home. Let me tell you something. They put all kinds of pressure on us here. All kinds of pressure on us here. And I mean pressure, okay? I had to clean this house top to bottom. And I don't even want to talk about it. Okay? And why are you putting her out of the hospital if she's got obstructed intestines or bowel? Why are you doing it? Why are you putting a 90-year-old woman here? If she needs something, then goddamn it, do it for her. What's wrong with that place? That's what I didn't understand. So, last night, it's difficult because I told Charlotte, look, if you can get in that car with me, get on that walker, and you're strong enough to get on that walker and get in the car, I don't care if it takes 2 hours to get in the car, I will take you somewhere else. So you don't have to deal with those people. But if you keep getting weaker and you start making no sense and or you pass out or whatever, it's going to be Ambulance City. And the ambulance it's not a chauffeur service. They're not going to take you 12 miles. They're going to take you to the system nearby, which is going to be a death sentence for her because I know what they're going to do. Okay, that's my opinion. And I think I'm pretty close to it. Her life will change forever in a bad way for Charlotte. Charlotte doesn't understand. I do. She thinks she understands. So I had to do something last night, and I said, we're not going to go through this again tonight. I don't want to even devote the brain cell power to determining whether or not you're alive when I wake up or when I go to sleep wondering if you're going to be alive. I'm not going to do it anymore. So I told her, that's it. Let's go. So again, the negotiations, everything is a negotiation with her, and hospital is a non-negotiating issue, but in the long story short, I finally got her to do it because she had suffered enough, I guess is what she thought. So I took her in the car and I drove up to north of here, okay? And I'll keep her anonymity, but good God almighty, that was unbelievably difficult. Folks, the Hard Rock Cafes, they're the Indians here, the Seminole Indians, they rule everything. They are now in charge, okay? I mean, that thing that looks like a guitar, that hotel that looks like a guitar, a giant guitar, it takes 40 minutes to get past there on that State Road 7, 441. It takes 40 minutes to get by there. There's so many cops, you don't even know what's going on. There are flashing lights everywhere. So, and this is 12 o'clock at night now. So, it's almost midnight. So I went ahead and we got through there, and then I went and I took her up to the place that we went to. So when I noticed that there were road checkpoints everywhere, and I could see them everywhere on that main road, right? So I took a detour and I went 3 miles one way, and here she is, and she's ready to throw up in the seat next to me. And I went 3 miles out of my way, and it was a good thing I did, because that whole 441 was fucking rigged. I'm talking about serious riggage. So I went up there. This hospital that I went to is ridiculous with trying to find it, okay? It looked like something out of the Munsters, okay? I'm not trying to be funny. You know, 13 Mockingbird Lane? I mean, it was like at 12 o'clock at night, you would have thought this thing was going to be one of those houses that was in the breeze somewhere. You couldn't see anything. It was all dark. And then they have this sign that says hospital. And then it says ER this way. It's got the arrow, but then it's got a thing where you go in and then you can turn, or you can turn right there. And it's ambiguous. You don't know. And plus, you're not thinking really right. And then their arrow to get into the damn hospital didn't work. So you have to wait out there. We waited for about 12 minutes waiting for that damn light. I said, the hell with this. And I went, made a U-turn, and I have to go through that for that. So, we're out of patience. So we finally get this. You got to go all the way around these medical offices that are all it's nestled in these medical offices. And then it's in like the back. So we went over there, and finally I found it's like this little light. It looks like a saloon or something, So, like in the middle of the desert, like when, you get one of these places on Route 66, you can see it for a while or something. Good Lord. So we get over there, and now it's a negotiation to get her out of the car. okay? So she starts her shit as usual, okay? I said, come on, let's go. I'm gonna have to help you up. No, don't touch me, don't touch me, don't touch me. You hurt me, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know, I'm a pussycat compared to the medical workers. The medical workers don't want to hear your shit. They're gonna take you whether you like it or not, and she's gonna go, okay? So that's what that's gonna be, okay? So she didn't want me to do it, so the nurse, the male nurse, went over and said, oh, we have to get you in because the wheelchair can't get to the car. You know what I mean? Can't stop. And plus now, they have wheelchairs for like chronically fat ass 600-pound people. So they think everybody is perpetually 600 pounds. So they've got these ginormous fucking wheelchairs. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but this is like a relatively new thing. They finally figured out that American people are fat, okay? Especially ones that are sick here. So we can't get the damn thing close enough to the passenger side. So she's complaining. Finally, the guy goes over, grabs her, and just what I told you. Okay? So that whole thing. Okay? So then he gets her in the chair, and now she's all discombobulated, you know, and just, you know, so it's like, I'm trying not to make fun of her, but she's her own worst enemy, is what I'm telling you. So we went, you know, into the place, and like, look, I'm not trying to be derogatory, okay? But like black people, when they go to the emergency room, they want to be comfortable. So like my homeboy sit there going like, okay, and then like the other black guy, because this is like a, you know, black area, right? So the other one over there, and he's laid out. I don't know if he's dead or whatever, but like he's laid out. I don't know if he got shot or whatever, but like what I'm telling you is, remember I told you about the song, it's better in a hellhole, you know where you stand in a hellhole, folks lend a hand in a hellhole, girl get me back to my hellhole. So I get her in there, now they take her into examination room number 3 or whatever it is, right? Okay, now I have a chance to relieve myself, so I go over to the door, okay, and the first thing I notice is I cut a yard this morning, and I've got something that is not good here, and I don't know what it is. I'm going to have to go take a bath when I'm done. I don't know what the hell this is. Something ain't good here in the state of Denmark. Anyways, so I went ahead and I went to the bathroom. The first thing I noticed, okay, was my homeboys, okay? The second thing I noticed was that the door to the bathroom was like kind of off its hinge, kind of, you know what I mean? So like when you know, like when you pull the thing down, it's supposed to pull out. Well, this one was like, and you have to kind of pull it really good, and it's sticky, okay? Now, at the other place, which shall go nameless, they don't, because what they do is they put banana wax on there, or whatever the hell they use over there, or Marigans or Miraquins or whatever, you know, they have a whole staff dedicated for that, to make sure that the doors don't, you know what I'm telling you, because they've got an aquarium on the wall, and they've got this and that. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? So, but what, they're taking care of the woman. They're taking care of her. They're doing a good job. I go in there, the sheets aren't beautifully clean. I even got a picture of it if I can find it, if I do it, and you know, like, the sheets aren't really that clean. Not like at the other place, okay? So here she is, okay? Now, I'm seeing if I can see this. I guess I don't have it here. Yeah, you know, I don't have it there. So, long and short of it, she's in that place. They're taking good care of her. To be honest with you, they're taking good care of her. And I said to myself, okay, well, this is fine, you know, everything is okay. And I went ahead and stayed with her for a while, but the thing is, if you stay with Charlotte, she starts using you as a bullying tool. So, you know, the nurse will come in and start drawing blood from her, and, you know, she wants to refuse, and she expects that I'm going to say, well, you know, and she's figured out morphine, which is a dangerous thing, okay? Because she now knows the value of morphine. They gave her morphine in the other good hospital, and now she's very hip to it. So that's like one of her new words is morphine, okay? So she's got it now. But you don't have to have morphine. When you go to the hospital, I went in there and I had something wrong with me, and they came in and they gave me a shot of something, and it wasn't morphine, and I didn't give a shit about fucking the world was ending. You don't care. When they give you something in the hospital, it fucking works. You can bet your bottom dollar on it, okay? Doesn't have to be morphine. Well, she's got that stuck in her head. So now I got to deal with her looking like a morphine addict, okay? Because now she's chatting up all the good things about morphine. So I'm trying to tell her, like, hey, shut up, you know? It's like unbelievable. So anyways, all right, so we go through that, okay? Now they're taking blood and they're doing all the work, but I looked at the bed, and the bed is not a $45,000 roller bed, you know what I mean? It's maybe a $12,000 roller bed, you know what I mean? And it's been around the block a time or two. And the mattress isn't the same, you know what I mean, as the other place. And then I looked at the sheet, and the sheet, you can see part of the mattress coming, because the sheet is kind of, you know, like where it bends, like, you know, where the thing bends here, you can see it's kind of like on a stretch fabric. So it's not really touching that part of the mattress. You want to know something? I don't care. They were taking good care of her, you know? And the people in there were pretty cool. You know, even the people that were waiting there to get treated, they were all right, you know? I wasn't trying to put anybody down. I'm trying to add a little color to this with, you know, like what was happening. But it was mostly black, you know? But anyways, I saw like what looked like a Guatemalan guy in there too, you know? He looked like he was not in good shape either. And I saw a couple kids and stuff like that. So anyways, I got through, and then I started thinking to myself, you know, I better get out of here, because it looks bad enough when we got a 90-year-old woman and then a 50-year-old suitor, right? Because I don't want to get into all the questions, because I have a platonic relationship with that woman. I don't, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So let's just end it there, okay? So I don't want to like have, you know, all these medical staff looking at me like I'm, you know, or they think I'm her son or something like that. You know what I mean? So, and which I'm not. And it just kind of looks puzzling to them, and it's uncomfortable. So I just thought it would be best for me to exit stage left, okay? She doesn't want me to go. So I told her, I said, look, why don't we do this? Let me go, because you know, like they could start asking me questions, and let's start asking you questions, and then if they don't match, you know, maybe they'll, you know, send you back to that other place. Wink, wink, nod, nod. You know, like get out of here, go back to that place or whatever. And they didn't do anything for her. So I'm looking out for her best interest. And to be honest with you, on a Saturday night in good old southern Florida, I do not want to be on the roads, if you know what I mean. Okay, especially in Homeboy City, which is where I was, okay? Which I didn't want to. It was hard getting up there. I had to take a detour 3 miles to fucking bypass 441, okay? Because it's fucking completely rigged. Now, so I leave, okay? I leave, I get in my car, and now I'm driving home, okay? Now, what saves me? Well, I had a chance to turn off and go to a road called University Drive. I could have done that, okay? Or I could have taken 441, but I knew I couldn't go all the way, because that Hard Rock Cafe, forget it. That Hard Rock with the guitar up there that's 500 feet high, I mean, forget it, right? So we'll try to do this part 2, because my story's almost done. So I knew not to go there, so I knew I had to get off and take a little different route, because I know that 441 is a death trap. They're going to be having those cones, and then it says, stay right, and then of course they take a flashlight and they go, have you been drinking? You know, that kind of thing. I got caught on that before, thank God I wasn't drinking, which I really don't drink anyway. I drink maybe before I go to sleep. If I have an important thing to do and I don't want to be up all night, I'll take a beer, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying. So my great wisdom and sage life saved me, because I was going down 441. I had a chance to turn on this little Davie Road. I think it was Davie Road or Peters Road, and I should have went west out to University Drive. But I didn't. I stayed on there. As soon as I got done with that, there's no other roads you can turn to the right. So they got you. So the cones are there. Well, what happened? I remembered from my years of cutting yards that right there, there was a little place there called the Georgia Pig, I think was the name of it. And right next to that little Georgia Pig with the pig, and it was like a little, Sonny's Barbecue kind of thing. They went out a long time ago, them too. But right next to it was a tool rental place that I almost bought a lawnmower from. And they would occasionally sell a lawnmower, and I know that if you pulled in there from the main road of 441, it's a little tiny driveway, but it escapes in the back. And you can go out and go back and you can get the hell out of there, which is what I did. Now I realize I made a mistake. So now what I did was I said, I might as well go to I-95, which is far out of the way, but at least, I-95 will be better, right? So I go out, and now I'm on Davie Road in Fort Lauderdale, and I go out over east, okay? No problem, it's all quiet, okay? Now I get to 95, no problem. Now, folks, I went south on I-95, Interstate 95. Folks, getting off on any exit was like a fucking martial law event. There were fucking 7, 8 cops there with fucking chase vehicles and bulletproof this and armored this. I was like fucking unreal. I didn't care where the fuck you got off. It was worse when I came back from South Carolina during that hurricane, where they had the National Guard on each one, and they didn't have any lights, so you could still get off and go to the gas station, but there was no gas, and that's what, they had this kind of thing going on. This is way worse than that. So I had to run the fucking gauntlet. The gauntlet comes from when they wanted your sperm. This is another boring history lesson that you don't want to learn, that Paul forces on you. Well, the American Indians finally fucking figured out that it ain't too bad to be white, because they were dying because of all the smallpox that we had and all this other stuff from being from Europe, and they had no defenses to it. So the American Indians up in the Northeast, which is one of the reasons we're so close to them, it's a whole complicated story, but they finally realized that they might have to do the hokey pokey with some white people, both men and women, particularly the men, even though they didn't like it. So what they would do is they would go and kidnap white teenagers if possible. They'd kidnap anyone. They'd kill the husband or whatever. They wanted that. They wanted the woman, or they wanted the young teen, a male. And then they cut their hair because we were too ugly to look at, and they pulled their hair all out so they were bald, except for maybe a streak like this. They take all their reading material or anything else they had with them, and then they became part of the Pawnee or the Algonquin. And then they would, and when they took you and they gave you a bath like that, cut your hair, then they sent you the fucking gauntlet. You better make it through that gauntlet, because if you didn't, they'd fucking kill you. They would line up and fucking hit you with stones and axe stones and fucking every other kind of thing. And you better make it, because if you didn't, you're probably not going to live. Because that's how they used the merit system with the American Indians. I know all about this. I'm from that fucking area. I know all about it. That's why we have this interesting relationship. That's why we're different than the British or the Australians or anything else. And they're different too, because they've got their Aborigines. It all comes with culture blending. It's all normal and natural. You can't escape it. So, I'm trying to remember how this goes. So anyways, I'm trying to remember what the hell I was talking about here. But anyways, I got off, I got through, I went through the gauntlet there, and I just kind of went through there slowly, and they didn't stop me. And then I made it through into the quieter areas, and I got home. And I got home at 2:30 in the morning, and I was glad to be in one piece. Now, that's the life of trying to go out on Saturday night in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. You can forget it. And I can't tell you how many raccoon women I saw. You know what raccoon women are? Those are women that have been out doing the party thing, and they got their mascara on, and now they've been taken out of the car waiting to do a DUI test, and now they're all crying with their makeup all over their face. That was common last night, okay? And every other time they said that. They have whole trailers set up to do that stuff, to get you into the blood work and everything else. So my advice to you, stay away from the roads in South Florida on Saturday night. It's like a fucking Gestapo. It's like a martial law event. And I don't care how you tried to get home. If you were on I-95 or fucking I-95, fucking 441, I don't know about University Drive, but fucking 441 and I-95, you can forget it, okay? You are getting pulled over, okay? Folks, take care. I had to say it because I got to get this out of my system, okay? And I'm sorry about that. Subscribe if you want. I don't often do these. It was just like one of those things. So now I still don't know what's going on with Charlotte. They haven't called me yet. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I ain't driving again. I'm going to take the homeboy pass for $6 or whatever the fuck it is. And I'm going up and going back on the bus. I'm not dealing with it anymore. All the way up there, fucking 40 miles. No way. 35 miles. And it goes on one bus. It goes all the way up to the top there on the Sample Road. So, anyways, take care, folks. That's almost Boca Raton for folks of you out of the know here. So, it's a long, long bus. It's called the number... Shit, I can't remember the name of that bus. I think it's the... What is it? It's the bus that runs up 441. It goes all the way up there. I can't remember. The one goes up Federal Highway, US 1. I forgot this one. Gee, I can't even remember. How do you like that? It's been so long since I took the bus. The 2. No, the 2 goes University. I forgot. Take care. We love you. Subscribe. Molly and I wish you the best. We're all alone here right now. Bah! See you later.